Hello and welcome to the short Vort on Parshas Bamidbar. This Vort is based on the words of Chida and Chaim Yosef David Azulay, as shared by Chana, Leah, Rapaport, a principal and a teacher in Toronto, on All Parsha app by the Orthodox Union. So in Perek Aleph, Pasuk Yud chapter 1, verse 14 of Bamidbar, excuse me, as well as in Perek Beis, verse 14, Yud both the times we have lists of different of the Shvatim. The first time it says El Yosef ben Du'uel. The second time it says El Yosef ben Ru'uel. All the other Shvatim, the leaders of the tribes of the Degalim and the Korbanos were identical, but this one there was a slight little change. What's going on here? So the Ramban says that sometimes the father was called Duel and sometimes he was called Reuel. But each one has a little bit of a different of a nuance of a lesson that's telling us basically a connection to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. The Chidah in his Sefer Chomas Anach, so he quotes the Imre Noam, and he says by the Shvatim around the Mishkan, they were divided the 12 tribes into 4 different groups of 3 each, and these were called Degalim. They had their flags, and each one was led by a representative shevet and personage. And so that should have fit the 4 mothers. We each would have one representative for a flag. However, we see that there was Efraim from Rachel, there was 2 from Leah, there was Degel Machane Yehuda and Devel Machane Reuven, and then for Bilhah there was Devel Machane Dan. But Gad from Zilpah did not have any representation. So the fact that Gad did not complain, whether in the Chumash or anywhere in the Midrash says, the Chidah says that this was a reason why Gad merited that Moshe Rabbeinu, who's called Reah Kel, Hashem's friend, he was buried in the area of Gad outside of Eretz Yisrael. He could have complained, but he didn't, and therefore there was such a tremendous reward there. And therefore the tribe itself became like a Reah Kel. So that's hinted in the change from Deuel in the first time to the 2 Reuel the second time. And the Mrs. Rapaport goes on further and says, we see the power of being mavater, of giving in, and the reward that comes for it. Because we're going back to the Imahos, by Rachel, she gave up her chance to be with Yaakov Avinu, to be the husband, by giving the secrets to Leah, and she could have been stuck in her mind with Esav, and that would have been good. However, Hashem rewarded her because she was Muvater, and she gave the code, so she actually was able to, instead of being barren and Akara, she was able to have children, and she had 2 of the Shvatim. Similarly, we see by Leah also, when she was about to have her 7th son, and we knew that there was going to be, or they knew that there was going to be 12 tribes, and the two Shvachos each had 2 kids, she thought, Leah was concerned that Rachel would only end up with 1 shevet and less than the Shvachos. So therefore, she prayed to Hashem, and she had Dinah instead, and her sister was able to have 2 tribes. And she thought she was giving up a tribe, but she didn't give up a tribe, because in the end, she was rewarded that Dinah's descendant married to Yosef, Asnas bas Potiphar, and they had not 1 but 2 different tribes, because Efraim and Manasseh became Keruven and Shimon. They became like tribes. So not only did Leah not lose out 1 tribe, but she net gained a tribe. So this is a lesson for us that, when it comes to kavod and things and all different things that you want, if you're mavater, Hashem is going to reward you in some way or some form. So thank you for listening. Like, share, and subscribe.